All righty. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We are back. It has been a long time coming. It's been a long week. It's been a long Wednesday. Oh, it's been a long summer. But we are finally back, which means football must be back. Gonz. It's been a while, man. How you feeling?
It's pretty good. I'm feeling really good. There are some other videos on YouTube that I uploaded from a while back that we took a long time to upload. So I hopefully you check out a little bit of those first before this one, because we give some little bit of predictions. But if you want to skip over those, I understand why, because we were late with the upload. But I'm excited. It's time for football. I mean, we're in training camp now. Those videos were recorded before training camp. We're in full swing now, and we've got a preseason game on Friday. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, we are well within the summer program and into the August month. So it's like, oh my gosh, the week one will be here very fast.
As
So
soon as we know it.
I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, the week won't be here like very quickly. A lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to talk about. Like you said, training camp is currently underway for pretty much everybody in the NFL. Even joint practices are going on as we speak. Well, not as we speak because it's late, but as we talk, the next tomorrow we'll have more joint practices. Ravens, man, Ravens are full steam ahead in training camp. I know we've had some in and outs with injuries. Lamar missed a couple of training camps with an illness, but he was able to join the Ravens just after a couple of missed practices. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of reports I'm hearing out of training camp have been pretty good. I can't complain. Some things that I've noticed, I'm just gonna start right off the bat. I love the way I'm hearing about this Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman connection. I'm hearing an improvement from last year. I'm hearing they're connecting on a lot of passes in the 7-on-7, the red zone drills. It's nice to see them actually connecting again. A lot of reports coming out with that. How are you feeling about that? I know we questioned Bateman for a while now to see if they can get that chemistry going, but it seems as though they're working on it.
I mean, as cool as that sounds, I need to see it in game action, because we've heard this before. This is old news. I mean, we've heard the media, especially Ravens media, hype up people for them just not to produce. So I need to see this in the regular season. I'm not saying Bateman's terrible, but I just need to see this hype that we're talking about. I mean, he had some flashes last season, as you know. He was making a lot of chunk plays, especially like crossing routes. He wasn't a frequent target, but when he was targeted, he usually made the best of his opportunities. So hopefully he gets targeted more and he can showcase this hype that the Baltimore Ravens media is really talking about. So, yeah, I'm not going to get too excited until I see it happen in the real games. You know what I mean? But
That's
it's
fair.
cool. I mean, it has to start with practice. So, yeah, that's the first step. But me personally, I'm not overly like, let's go super excited about it until we get to real games that count.
That's fair. That's a fair assumption. I think that's fair to want to see it in game speed, in real time. I think we're going to get that really soon. We'll see what his production will be like in week one against the Chiefs in Kansas City. But I'm hoping that, we establish him this year. I really think he's a really great receiver. And I think that, in the right fit, in the right scheme, we can really get him going. Another report coming out of training camp is the secondary has been dominating. I mean, at first, in the first couple of practices, now mind you, Lamar wasn't there, so I can't really put them up there with that. But they've been getting a lot of interceptions. They've been having blanket coverage. Marlon Humphreys picked Lamar off at least 4 times in practice.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, a lot of reports coming out with that. I mean,
Wow.
Secondary's looking like studs out there. Tell me your thoughts on that. Let me know how you're feeling about those reports. I mean, we know the defense is going to take a little bit of a hit with some of the losses we've had, but if the secondary is still flying around like that, we could still be a problem.
I mean, that was like one of our top storylines heading into the offseason. How is Zachary Orr going to keep this defense intact? How are they going to compare up to last year? Are they going to rise up to last year's defense? Are they going to be a little bit less? I don't know, but it's a pretty good start for the secondary. I mean, I'm not too concerned about it because, like we said, we kept a lot of people other than Stone all the cornerbacks are the same. I mean, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Arthur Millette, all guys from last year. The return of Ardarius Washington has certainly helped. And we were probably going to talk about this in a little bit with key veteran additions. They brought in Eddie Jackson, two-time Pro Bowler with the Chicago Bears, has at least 14 interceptions in his career. So they've got yet another key piece to add in that secondary, along with Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. So, I mean, they've got a pretty much, if not better than last year's secondary, technically. They've replaced, what's his name, Geno Stone with Eddie Jackson. So it's like, great. I'm feeling pretty good about that as long as we can stay healthy. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad they're getting all these turnovers. Again, catching the ball is something that, you know, we haven't talked about this as much, but, you know, back in the late 2010s, defense was dropping a lot of picks. So this defense usually catches their interceptions. So I'm not too worried about that standpoint. One thing I might want to see a little bit more of is caused fumbles. So let's see if we can bring back some of the, you know, peanut punch from 2020 that Marlon Humphrey was talking about. He hasn't forced a fumble for a while, but he used to punch that ball out of ball carriers. So if you can add that into your mix of blanket coverage and pressure with your pass rush, I mean, shoot.
I think you bring up a really good point.
Up. Yeah, and I'm not sure how Trent Simpson is doing. Hopefully he's doing pretty well. I've heard some good things about him. Like I said, the media has juiced him up. There was an article on Ravens.com saying Trenton Simpson is passed the test or whatever. I forget exactly what it was, but pretty much saying that he's ready to take on a starting role, fill in for Patrick Queen. He was studying off of Patrick Queen. Hopefully he's studying off of last year's Patrick Queen and not the former Patrick Queen that was missing some of the tackles. But that's another thing. But so, yeah, I'm sorry, Pat, but it's true. So we'll see. I'm excited. It's going to be fun to see how Roquan Smith mentored him over the summer and if this defense will rise up to the hype that it's been given out of training camp. Because honestly, that's been the biggest key part about training camp for me is all the hype the media has given for a lot of positions. So let's see that on the field. Let's go get a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I think you bring up a good point with Marlon Humphrey. I know last year for Humphrey was a down year.
Yeah.
He wasn't really on the field as much. I think this is a really big year for him. I don't think us as Ravens fans has ever doubted Marlon's abilities because we know what he's like when he's locked in and he's healthy at 100%. So it's not like we're doubting him, but I know that after last year, he himself is probably looking for a bounce back. So I think this will be a really good opportunity for him, especially because training camp, I feel like the picks he's gotten, that's a lot of confidence going into this. Going into the year, because I mean, Lamar is probably one of the more, if not the most dynamic quarterback in the league. And when you can kind of like play off of him, it's going to get easier to defend some of these other quarterbacks. So I'm really happy to hope, and I hope he continues to progress. Like you said with Trenton Simpson, I think Trenton Simpson is going to be just fine.
Good.
I really think he's going to be good. Roquan again, and I know that Roquan spoke earlier in the summer talking about, just hanging out with him, getting that connection with him, bonding with him, getting to know him, you know what I'm saying, so they can have that chemistry on the field. And I think that's perfect for the both of them. Because if Trenton Simpson, looking at the impact that Roquan had on Queen, who knows what Trenton Simpson can be in a full year, not on the bench, but actually being right next to Roquan. I mean, who knows what that can bring out of him. So I'm really looking forward to see what his production is going to be. But the next thing I wanted to address while we're still
real quick before you move on, Marlon Humphrey has slimmed down this summer too, and
I did hear that.
Looking to increase that speed a little bit so he doesn't get toasted. But in his defense, he has been dealing with some injuries. He got hurt last year at the beginning of the year. In training camp around this time, actually, he dealt with that foot injury that held him out for 4 games or 5 games or so. So hopefully this year it's better. So far, so good, and he could have a fully healthy year and really bring out the best in him. Because, like you said, last year was not his best year. But he looks healthy, he looks fast, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope he shows out this year. Let's have an all-pro year, Marlo. We're looking forward to it. But while we're still on the topic of defense, I just want to get now to the pass rush because, I know that's another topic of – I feel like that's one of the main topics of concern, since we lost Clowney. I think one of the bigger questions that we have right now is, are our young guys going to step up and give us that production that we've been looking for? And by young guys, I think we're talking about Odafe Owe and David Ojabo. Ojabo, we know he's been injured these past couple of years, hasn't been able to stay on the field. When he's on the field, he hasn't been bad. Like, he's forced some fumbles, he's gotten pressures, he's been in the quarterback's face, just that he can't stay on the field. Owe, I feel as though Owe has the it factor, but there's something else that has to be brought out of him. And I think that I'm hoping that we can see that this year from him. I know right now he's dealing with injuries, so I don't think he was on the – I think he just came back to the practice field after missing the last practice, if I'm not mistaken. But I think going into this year, the pass rush is going to be the one question we have. Are we still going to be able to get that pressure that we got on the quarterbacks last year, being the number one team in sacks with Clowney? We're losing 9.5 sacks of production from Clowney. So this is going to be a big question mark for us this year. These young guys are going to have to step up big. And I think they can do it, but we're just going to have to look and find out. What do you think?
Yeah, that I don't feel like the pass rush has gotten as much hype as the secondary or, the Rashad Bateman stuff or the Lamar Jackson stuff, because this has been quietly one of Lamar Jackson's best camps, I feel like, accuracy-wise. There was one day where he didn't throw an incomplete pass, or if it was none, it was at least one, but pretty crazy stuff. But, yeah, I feel like this has been, not as, hyped up as the other things. So I don't know. Hopefully that the Ravens O-line is just playing really well and there's nothing to really be flashy about. But I did see some plays that Odafe Owe has blown up some stuff in the backfield. Same with Matabike and a couple other guys out there. I haven't heard about Michael Pierce at all. But there is one person, though, that we can keep an eye on who might have a potential breakout season, and that is Travis Jones. He has had a pretty good camp. He's been on in a couple plays. I'm not expecting him to just explode with 13 sacks like Matabike, but he can definitely cause some problems up there in the middle. So imagine if he can wreak some havoc with Michael Pierce in a rotation. So keep him fresher a little bit since he's more of an older guy. I mean, this could cause some big problems for offenses. Interior pressure is key. And then if those middle guys take up more of the guards and stuff, that can let your edge rushers really turn up loose on those tackles. Make life easier for Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Owe and whoever else who's going to be rushing the passer. Can't think of anyone else right now. Ojabo, like you said. But so that's my person to look for when it comes to pass rush. Look out for Travis Jones, because he came out swinging in his first year, 2022, his rookie season. He was there last year, but he wasn't like in the rotation as much. He wasn't as flashy as he was his rookie year. Personally, that's my opinion. I don't think he was. So maybe this year would be the year for him to break out a little bit and then cause some problems for opposing offenses, especially in the middle of their O-line. So that's good. I'm excited. I hope that he can do stuff because I've heard a little bit of whispers about him over the summer. So hopefully those are true. But yeah, that's my opinion on the pass rush. Edge rushers, we got to see. Owe is done fine. I mean, let's just take it to the next level. I mean, with like you said, the loss of Clowney is really going to have to be Owe's year. Maybe Owe can step up and get 9.5. That'd be awesome.
I would love that. I would love that.
Ojabo if he can just finally stay healthy. This is a big year for him because he cannot afford any more injuries. If he gets injured again, this might be done. It might be a J.K. Dobbins type situation. So, yeah, let's just cut these guys loose. Let's see. And then always, if there's an issue with the younger guys or there's an injury, they're going to bring in somebody late. Because Clowney was a late addition last year, too.
He was. And a huge late addition to that.
So, expect Baltimore to just be on top of this. I feel like they'll be on top of the situation. We should be fine this year.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I mean, defense, let's see what you got. I mean, we got some young guys. We got the vets. Let's see what we're cooking with.
And they're going to blitz Arthur Millette, too, off the side.
Actually, now that because I almost forgot to bring this up in the beginning. Yeah, I forgot to bring this up in the beginning. Well, he was having a great camp. Unfortunately, he is out right now with I think it was a knee injury. They're saying that his knee has to be scoped, I believe. He has to have like a scope surgery or something like that. So he's going to be out for at least a month.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, so that was a huge blow. He was our best blitzing DB. He was all like you said. He was having a great camp. I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but he was having a great camp. Yeah, prior to the injury, he will be back. He is not season ending. Thank goodness. He will be back and he will be fine. Once he recovers, just give him some time. But unfortunately, we probably will not have him for week one, which is gonna suck. But it's all right. If we can just go a week without him, he'll be back the week after. We should be good.
Well, like we said, our Darius Washington can step in big time. He's
Absolutely.
Sort of safety / slot corner type guy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in one of the pressers, he said, "Listen, man, put me wherever you need to put me. I'm gonna make something happen."
I mean, so literally before he got hurt last year with that chest injury, he played over 100 snaps in the first 3 or 4 games total. So I mean, they obviously trust him. So I feel like they'll be okay at that point. For that spot. Have you heard any news on TJ Tampa?
I know he's been on and off the field with injuries. I know the one training camp that I went to, I believe he was on the field at that time, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't heard any glaring reports about him just yet. But again, the secondary itself was dominating for most of the beginning of training camp. So I don't know if he was a part of that, but I haven't heard anything glaring from him yet as far as TJ Tampa. As far as Wiggins, too, we talk about that, too.
Injury?
He's made some plays. No. He's on the field. He's good. Yeah, he's fine.
You didn't switch the topic from injury, so I was nervous.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I forgot. No, he's not injured. He's good. He's fine.
God.
He's been on the field. Again, no, glaring reports. No, he sucked. Oh, he's been great. I guess he's still working.
I heard.
Yeah, but I feel like he's been pretty good. So as long as we're not hearing anything bad, I feel like he's good on that front. So we're going to take it with a grain of salt right there.
And I'm glad you bring up Wiggins because I completely forgot about him. I mean, look, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Arthur Millette when he comes back, Ardarius Washington, and Andrew Wiggins. I mean, they've got some depth at corner. What did I call him? Andrew Wiggins.
Wrong
My bad,
sport. It's all good.
My bad, guys. I just finished the NCAA stream, so I'm a little bit tired, so my bad. Nate Wiggins. This is the NFL, not the. So anyway, yeah, we've got some people back there, so I'm excited about this rotation.
Yeah, I
really am.
I feel like our secondary is very, very locked in. I mean, when you look Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, Eddie Jackson, Ardarius Washington, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Nate Wiggins, Arthur Millette. I mean, we got some guys. You know what I mean? We got some guys. So I think, and we always have lived on that next man up mentality. And I feel like the guys who have had to be the next man up have stepped up, especially since the Lamar Jackson era has started. So, we're just going to have to see how they do step up. But I have confidence in this defense. I have confidence in Zach Orr. And I'm just ready to see him rumble, man. I'm really ready to see him rumble, really show why we were a number one defense last year, even though we lost some guys. So, that's going to be cool.
More than made up for the losses. So, great.
Yeah, we just have to see. All right, so let's
No, I was going to say, I'm ready to talk offense or O-line.
Yeah, I was just about to say, let's transition over to this offense. Before we transition to offense, just to let everyone know, we are aware that the Ravens did sign Russell Gage to the team. He actually already has started practicing. The day that he was announced that he signed, he was already there to practice, which was great to hear.
That brings up another point. Bateman left practice early, didn't he, one day? Did he come back fully practice yet?
I don't know if he was I don't think he was at practice today.
You think he was or what?
No, I don't think he was at practice today. I remember Harbaugh saying in a presser that what he's dealing with right now isn't serious. It's not going to keep him out for too long.
That's right. Yeah.
But
ladies and gentlemen, you have to be a little bit concerned because why after does that happen they bring in Russell Gage? I mean, there has to be a little bit more behind this. Hopefully I'm overreacting, but the Ravens don't do that for nothing. And they're also looking at centers too. After Tyler Linderbaum is dealing with a soft tissue.
We were looking to sign Connor Williams.
Offense guy. Right? What was his name?
Connor Williams.
I mean, he's he's strongly considering either Baltimore or the Seahawks.
Well, he signed with Seattle
he
already.
did?
So.
Did? Okay.
Yeah, he signed a 1-year, $5 million deal.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping on my NFL news. Fine. Okay. So maybe it isn't as pressing, but they were really looking at him at one point. So hopefully that these injuries aren't as bad as I feel like they could be. Maybe the Ravens are just being precaution, which is fine with me. But yeah, that Bateman thing is a little bit concerning because it's like every offseason he's dealing with something, and it's just really, really frustrating. I can't imagine how he feels about it either with all this stuff he's dealing with.
Yeah, it's just I feel like all that has just been holding him. Like he has given, like when he's on the field, he's given us steady production, and I just know that the injuries have just held him back from being great. So if he could just stay on the field and continue to just stay consistent, I feel like he'll be good. But like you said,
cautionary because I really hope that Bateman that there's more to this Bateman injury than there is. I really hope that's not the case.
I agree. I hope he's all right, and I hope he's going to be okay because it would be great to have him out there with Zay and with Nelson. But at the end of the day, I just need if Bateman can just stay on the field, we'll be fine. But it's just really going to depend on how he's feeling throughout this season. I know it's not going to be easy for whatever injury he's dealing with. Because Harbaugh did not specify what he's dealing with. He just said it's not serious. But Bateman. Let's see who else. Millette, swift recoveries for the both of you. Linderbaum, the true two, swift recoveries. Just get back as quickly as possible. And to any other guys who are injured that I have not named, swift recoveries. And we're wishing you a safe return. But yeah, so we did sign, like we mentioned earlier, we did sign Russell Gage to I'm guessing a 1-year deal. Again, we're hoping that it's precautionary. I mean, he's had some crazy catches over the years, so he has been kind of like a get up and go get it kind of receiver. Like he's been able to get up there as far as catches are concerned. Like I just saw a highlight from him the other day while he was with the Falcons, and I saw him catch it over like 2 guys, I think, for a tutty like late in the game, and I was like, oh shit, okay, well if he can do that, I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'm okay with that for sure. But yeah, but as far as the offense is concerned, like you said earlier, Lamar Jackson, he struggled coming back. And again, like we mentioned earlier, he was dealing with an illness, so he missed like 3 practices, I believe. So he came back, he struggled a little bit, but man, after a practice or 2, he started clicking, man. He really started clicking. Like it's incredible to see. Like a lot of reports were saying he was having, like you said, he was having one of his best camps ever. He had one of his best practices ever, like barely missing a throw. Him and Henry's chemistry has been like spot on compared to like the read options, or you don't know him getting it or Henry's getting it. Like it's been very, very interesting. It's been fun to see just the reports. Like I was like, Gonzi, I was there for day 3 of camp, and I was actually sitting there like watching Derrick Henry. Dude, I like seeing him on TV is one thing, bro. Seeing that guy in person, bro, it's insane, bro. It's absolutely bonkers.
I can't wait to watch it in real life, man.
He's insane. Like he was just, he had mind you, this wasn't Lamar Jackson handing him the ball when I went to training camp, but when he was getting the ball, it was just like he moves. He's not supposed to be able to move that quick for a guy his size, man. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It was really crazy to see in person. Like when they were running first team reps, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch. And I see that he's been catching passes from Lamar out of the backfield. So if they can build that chemistry where they could just be a dynamic duo, and then just incorporate the other guys into this offense is going to be scary. Mm-hmm. It's going to be really, really scary, man.
Yeah, and another thing I keep seeing, he's almost every practice report that I read says that he has bodies bouncing off of him. So I can't wait to see that in the regular season. I would love to see defenders for teams like the Steelers or whatever just bouncing off of Derrick Henry, unable to bring him down. So I'm excited. Bro, this offseason I feel like has so much hype around it because how big of a season this is supposed to be, I think. So I mean, this is a huge season coming up. I'm excited. excited to what these playmakers can do. Now, how about this offensive line? I mean, we've
Now,
standouts. Andrew Voorhees is looking
yes,
good, very good, and
yes,
Harbaugh he's deserved some shots with the first teamers. So I'm
hearing.
to see. And I know we're going to talk about this when we get our pregame live for the preseason game for Friday, but he is somebody who's on my radar to watch this summer in the preseason.
I'm hearing reports that he is in a strong contention to get that starting guard spot.
Well,
he's shown up ever since he came back from that injury. He showed up to practice. He's working hard. He's been consistent. He's just strong. Now, I don't know if you guys realize, I'm not just going off this rating, but he has like the highest strength rating in Madden, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering. So even in in camp, like when I was there. So what?
In Madden 25 or the old Madden?
In Madden 25.
How did you know that?
It was released.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the ratings released early. Yeah, but yeah, it was like dude, like I saw it for myself. Like he's really, really tough, man. And he's been consistent. He's been grinding to get back from that injury, and he's been working. So it's great to see that from him. And I really hope to see him like really show out if he does get the starting spot. I know it's not set in stone yet, but I hope he works to get that starting spot because I've heard nothing but really good things about him so far.
Who's he up against? He's up against who? Falele? I don't think they're going to
probably Falele. I know
McCarthy.
Cleveland. I know Ben Cleveland has been getting center reps with Linderbaum out, which has been kind of interesting.
I thought he was.
He said he feels comfortable in that.
Don't we need two?
Yeah. But I mean, he's been according to him after training camp one of these days. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. He's been getting some reps at center since Linderbaum has been out. So I mean, he said he feels comfortable in that spot. He said he's been okay with it so far. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, I mean, again, we still have Falele, the young rookie we drafted, not this past draft, but the previous draft. So I mean, we have some guys who can kind of like fill in that spot. Yeah, there we go. That's his name. I almost forgot what his name was. So yeah, we have some guys. We'll just have to see. But although I think Linderbaum should be back for week 1. So if that is the case, Cleveland will probably slide into that guard spot.
Back by next year. So hopefully he's right. When it comes
to so he should be good. Yeah.
He's a seasoned vet. This will be his 3rd year. He knows what he's doing. So I'm not worried about it. I remember he was a rookie in 2022. He got injured, but then he came right back and picked right up where he left off and was a pretty dominating center starting from week 1. So I'm not too worried about Linderbaum as long as it's not a serious injury, which I don't think it is. So he should be fine coming back. But Voorhees, if he's almost a lock, that leaves the final. We need what? 2 guards, right?
Yeah, we need left and the right.
So we'd have our 2 tackles. We have Ronnie and Voorhees. Then we'd have Tyler Linderbaum, Ben Cleveland potentially at a right guard, and then left guard would be, who do you think?
Yeah, so like left tackle Stanley. For guard, like you said, we'll probably throw Voorhees in that spot on the left side.
Guard, not tackle.
Yeah, Voorhees is a guard. Okay. Yeah, he's a guard. So we probably have Voorhees in that left guard spot, Linderbaum at the center. Cleveland most likely slides into that right guard spot.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm guessing Rosengarten. I mean, depending on, I'm not
thinking about that other lineman. There you go.
Yeah, Rosengarten probably would get that spot. I don't know how he's been doing in camp. Again, he's kind of one of those situations where it's like, I haven't heard anything bad, but I haven't heard anything like, oh my goodness, this guy is the next guy.
Has he been taking first team reps at tackle?
That's a good question. I can't confirm or deny that if he's taking first team reps yet. But I mean, with the rep coming out of college, I hope, with him not really giving up a sack on his side, I hope that I hope that carries over to the NFL.
Yeah,
we're gonna need that.
Played for it was Washington, right? It was either Washington.
Yes, he played for Washington.
I remember watching. Yeah, I remember watching his highlights. So he should be good at tackle. I'm excited for him. And I remember the Washington quarterback was actually a left-handed quarterback, so he
He
actually was
was. He was.
side.
Yeah, Penix, right?
It was a Penix. Yeah, it was Michael Penix.
Yeah, it was Penix, yeah.
So yeah, he had a lot to, he had the responsibility of a left tackle in the NFL. So he would, I feel like he could handle this business pretty good, and especially when you got Lamar back and improvise. If he tends to slip up will play and bail him out, I'm sure he'll feel pretty good. So, all right. So that's that. Thank you for bringing. I forgot those guys. I knew the two prospects were Cleveland and Voorhees. I'd forgotten who that third guy was, who was in the running. So Rosengarten. Yes. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, again, this is what the preseason games are for. We're going to iron out who we're going to get at line or for the offensive line. So then by the time we wrap up week 3 of the preseason, we'll be set for week 1. So, yeah, this is interesting. But I think Voorhees is somebody on my radar for preseason, game 1 at least. And Rosengarten, too. Those are the two most important positions. I feel like they're going to give the starting job to Cleveland just because he's been on the team for a while. And, they say he's been doing good, and he filled in last year, and he played pretty well. So I feel like that he's probably going to start week 1. Now, he's going to keep the job the whole time. We'll see. But I feel like that's your week 1 starter for guard. So we're trying to just figure out what these rookies are capable of in game action.
Yeah, and we're probably going to be able to see that. Yeah, we're probably going to be able to see that Friday when we take on the Philadelphia Eagles at M&T Bank Stadium Friday night for our first preseason game. Like Gonz said, we got the rookies on our radar. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Seeing if Nate Wiggins gets some action, you know what I mean? See what these guys can do. But I actually wanted to ask your thoughts really quickly. It's already came out that Lamar Jackson will not be playing any sort of minutes in this preseason game. I kind of disagree with that sentiment. I really feel as though we should, and my reasoning because, again, Lamar's been out from practices, right? And you know what I'm saying? He had the slow start at camp. He started ramping it up again, started being his normal self. But I really think that I feel like the starters, and again, people can disagree with me. That's completely fine. But I feel like the starters should play at least a quarter. And I say that to at least get them in game speed, get them back to, getting back in that game shape, you know what I mean, and playing in real time. Because, I mean, Lamar won't see action until September 5th. And we still got, we have a little less than a month from that, but still, that's a very long time before he'll see some in real game action. And I feel as though that kind of we've been seeing the trepidations from that last year. Because remember, when we played the Texans last year, of course we won that game, but we started all kind of slow in that game. You know what I mean? We weren't steadfast in our offense. The defense carried pretty much for that game until we started clicking a little offensively. But I don't know. I feel like the starters should play at least a quarter. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think so. Not this game. I mean, you don't need to. I mean, I get what you're saying 100%, but why don't you do that week 3? I think you should do that week 3. It's only right now. Let the rookies play. I mean, I think that you can. I don't want to have anything happen like we did that one year. So the less time we play at preseason, the better. Okay, this is for the young guys. This is for finishing out, giving the coaches what they need to know for the starting spots or for the remaining starting spots. I don't think you need to throw Lamar out there. I think he knows what he's doing. This is his second year in this Monken offense. I think that they can keep those reps in practice and be good to go. So I don't think that they need to throw the starters out here for this game. I think that you should do that for preseason week 3 because it's closer to the game action. And then less chance of risk of injury, and it just makes everybody happy. I don't think we need to see any game action until the Packers game on the 24th.
Okay, well I can respect that. I just think at least for like you said, even if it's just week 3, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that too. But I feel like they should get a little bit of action. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
Doesn't need to be this week. You don't got.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah, it doesn't have to be this week, but I just think that's
So they've only been back practicing hard for what, 2 weeks straight?
yeah.
Yeah, roughly. When do they start practice? The 21st, right? Let them get a little bit more practices under the belt too. So by the time the preseason week 3, they've been training camping it up for a month. Hey, we're making up words out here. Training camping it up for a month. Okay, practicing hard at their facility for over a month, technically, a month and 3 days. So they'll be well ready for some game action by then. And then you've got the regular season upon you after that. So I don't think they need to be thrown out this game in particular.
Yeah, I think it's cool to wait till week 3. I can agree with you on that sentiment, but I just think that at some point, I think the starters should get like a little bit of action. Like let's just get them again. Let's just get them ready for game speed.
I want to add this on though. I don't think it's as big as last year because this is now the second year that Monken's our coordinator. Also, Monken was our first year coordinator last year. Well, not first year coordinator, but first time as a Raven coordinator. So, that was important to get those reps in a new offensive system. It's not as pressing now that we've had a year under our belt and the whole offseason under our belt too to get them out there. So yes, while I still think it's cool to get them out there week 3, it's not as pressing, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I can get that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can see what you're saying, but I think from my standpoint, I think they should push him out there.
Just
see
for
what happens.
not
Not the whole game. It doesn't have to be the whole game.
Maybe 2 drives, a drive. You don't need to see that much. I mean, he's the reigning MVP. What else do we need to see? I mean, save him for the playoffs. Save him for the games that matter. I mean, get him out there for a drive if you want, but that's it. No more.
All right. Well,
I don't know how. See, I don't get how Andy Reid just throws the starters out there all 3 preseason games. I mean, and doesn't get punished for it. It's crazy. Not that I'm wishing.
The luck of the Chiefs. Not
that I'm wishing anything on anybody. I'm just like, it's kind of crazy that he has his starters play all 3 games. Well, maybe not all 3, but way more extensive action than any other team that I've seen in the NFL. I mean, is that why they're the Super Bowl champions? Probably not, but the best of the best, they just want to keep playing. So we'll see
with that.
But I know they just play a lot. I mean, they're the only. I expect Andy Reid to throw them out there on Friday when they play whoever they play.
Yeah, he already confirmed it that Mahomes and them are going to be playing. I think they play Saturday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so he already confirmed Mahomes is playing.
Mm-hmm.
At least a quarter, I think. At least a quarter.
Wow. Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Just to gloat that you won 3 Super Bowls or 2 Super Bowls?
Oh, yeah, it's been 3, unfortunately.
Well, 3, but back-to-back, 2 in a row.
Yeah, let's hope they don't repeat.
Yeah. How about you throw it
all right
down too?
So we can get our one, so Lamar can get it first. Let's hope that this is the case this year.
Just one.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's probably everything that we got as far as wrapping up our thoughts on training camp. Again, we've been excited to see the reports that we've gotten so far from these rookies, from our vets. A lot of our guys just got paid, so we're hoping that they can live up to these contracts. So let's see what we can do. We're hoping for a bowl this year. Again, first preseason game is on Friday. We will be facing the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll also see the Philadelphia Eagles in real game action later at the end of the year in the regular season. That's going to be fun. That's also in Baltimore. I think that is a afternoon
25.
4:25. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be a late afternoon, early evening game going into early evening. I'm going to try to go to that one. I think I'm going to try to head to that one. That's going to be fun. Gonz, any final thoughts before we wrap this episode?
No. And I'm excited to bring back the pregame shows. Are we going to do one on Friday, right?
Yes. So luckily for me, my schedule doesn't suck on Friday, so we will be able to do a pregame show before I go in.
Morning though, I found out on that I have to leave at like 11, so we might have to get up and do it around 10 or so.
We'll try to work it out.
It will be out there though, for sure, and this will be up on YouTube as well.
Yes. So. Also,
again, we don't have a choice now.
We're locked in. Before we get out of here, guys, I just want to say I know we weren't able to stream when the unfortunate news broke. But again, rest in peace to Jacoby Jones. We lost him a couple of weeks ago. He passed away at the age of 40 due to a heart disease, I believe. Uh, it was very, very unfortunate. I know Lamar recently spoke on, the impact that Jacoby has had on him. Big reason, why he stuck it out in Baltimore for so long. Jacoby was huge for us, during his time here. The Mile High Miracle, we will never, ever forget. His kick return in the Super Bowl, we will never, ever forget. He was huge in our Super Bowl run with Flacco and those guys back in 2012. So much condolences to Jacoby Jones and his family. I hope we can win it for him this year. Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year, Jacoby's hometown. So I feel like that would just, it all just come full circle. Let's just win it for Jacoby, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's get it for him.
It was nice to see Flacco was attending the funeral services.
Yeah.
Too.
It was really great.
They were, apparently.
Yeah. It was really great to see. It just sucks that, we lost him. Because, it would have been great, for him to join us on this run.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this year is going to be pretty special. But, again, rest in peace to him. Thank you for everything, Jacoby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this episode. Thank you guys for joining us again for another Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. We will see you guys on Friday for our pregame thoughts for our preseason game. I tried to combo that. That didn't work. I don't know. That didn't work. I'm tired. It's almost 1 a.m.
First season game.
Yeah. It's 1 a.m. Leave me alone.
It was good.
All right, guys. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll catch you guys on Friday for our preseason thoughts. Signing out.
Go Ravens. We're back, baby.